As you progress the main story of Starfield, you'll eventually land on a planet called Jemison, where you'll meet some members of the Constellation for the first time. You can use an elevator near the spaceport to get to an area known as the Well, where you'll meet a person named Louisa Reyez. She'll ask you for your help in locating a power drainage source in the area, and it'll eventually lead to the Trade Authority in the Alternating Currents quest. At the end of this quest, the game will ask you to choose between Zoe and Louisa. If you've reached the Alternating Currents quest, it means that you've already located a bunch of these boxes during the Tapping the Grid quest just before it. It starts with you following Louisa to the Trade Authority's office in the Well, where Zoe Kaminsky mentions that it's not their fault. She also asks you to locate a few more junction boxes so they can pinpoint the location of the power drain. As soon as the dialogue ends, you can use your scanner and look at the ground to find a trail that will lead you directly to the mentioned box. Following this trail is the easiest way to get to it, and keep in mind that Alternating Currents needs to be your active quest if you want the trail to lead to the box. After activating the first switch, Louisa and Zoe will ask you to activate different boxes. Zoe's box is much closer, while you'll have to go around quite a bit to reach Louisa's box. Moreover, the outcome of the quest doesn't change based on your choice here, so you can pick whichever box is easier to get to. I personally chose to go for Zoe's box as it's practically right next to where the first box was. Finally, the third box you'll need to activate will be beside an apartment building on the surface. Once you flip this switch, you'll be asked to head up the building and investigate a specific apartment, which will be marked with a blue icon. If you want to get closer to the evidence that solves the power drain mystery, you'll first have to use a digipick to unlock the apartment door. Once you're inside, you'll find a computer with a bunch of files on it. You simply have to click on the download files option to gain the evidence and progress the quest. No one will be present in this apartment while you're here, so feel free to look around and pick up any item you want to get value from the digipick you spend to get in. Keep in mind that these items will be confiscated if you get caught with a bounty on your head though. Just before you acquire the evidence from the apartment building, Zoe will call you and mention that she'd like you to hand over the evidence to her instead of Louisa. This is the main part of Alternating Currents, as you get a choice of giving the evidence to either of them as soon as you get your hands on it. Technically though, your choice doesn't make much of a difference, since you'll get the same reward either way. You can freely choose who you want to give the evidence to, while keeping these things in mind. Louisa has been on this case from the very start, and she's had quite a lot of problems because of it. On the other hand, Zoe is a corporate employee who is willing to use any methods to get her way. Trade Authority is one of the few vendors who will let you sell stolen items or contraband in the game. Fortunately, this doesn't get affected by your choice, and you can still sell these items to them even if you give the evidence to Louisa. So that's our guide to the Alternating Currents quest in Starfield. I've been Luke Gould, thanks for watching, and check out thegamer.com for more.